The Middle East teeters on the brink. A stark and sobering warning from Israel amid rising fears of the U.S. strike on Iran has sent shockwaves across the region. Behind closed doors, Israel is pushing Washington to act while simultaneously bracing for devastating retaliation. Tonight, we break down what's happening, the key players, and the dangerous game that could ignite a conflict unlike any seen in years. Israeli officials are sounding the alarm. Former Minister of Military Affairs Avigdor Lieberman has urged citizens to prepare safe shelters, fearing Iran could retaliate if the U.S. launches a strike. The wounds from last June's 12-day war are still fresh when Iranian missiles hit key strategic targets in Israel, causing widespread concern about a repeat scenario. According to reports, top Israeli officials, including Military Chief of Staff General Eyal Zamir and Mossad head David Barnett, have recently traveled to Washington to urge President Trump to authorize an attack on Iran. A U.S. official reportedly stated, "It's really the Israelis who want to strike. The president is just not there." As tension rises, Israel is watching closely, knowing that any U.S. strike could draw them directly into the crossfire. On the other side, Iran is not holding back. Hussein Degigi, a commander in Iran's powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, has warned that Israel would be Iran's first target if the U.S. attacks. His message was clear: a strike on Iran will not go unanswered. Degigi emphasized that while Iran's strategy remains defensive, any conflict could escalate rapidly beyond anyone's control. He warned that a U.S. strike would trigger a response both unpredictable and severe, exacting a heavy cost on the attacker. The stakes could not be higher. Meanwhile, the United States has increased its military presence in the region. The USS Abraham Lincoln Strike Group, including the aircraft carrier itself, destroyers, and over 3,000 personnel, has been deployed across the Middle East. These movements are part of Washington's pressure campaign against Iran, intended to deter further escalation and signal readiness for action. The tension is tangible in the skies and seas. U.S. forces recently shot down an Iranian Shahed 139 drone approaching the Abraham Lincoln. According to Central Command, the drone aggressively advanced toward the carrier, forcing a defensive response from an F-35 fighter jet. No personnel were harmed, but the incident underscores how quickly a misstep could ignite conflict. The Gulf is on edge. In the strategic Strait of Hormuz, Iranian boats confronted a U.S.-flagged tanker, ordering it to stop. The vessel refused, accelerating as a U.S. warship moved to escort it through the choke point. The confrontation highlights the potential for small incidents to spiral into major crises. Iran has also threatened that any U.S. attack could lead to a blockade of the strait, which carries nearly a fifth of the world's oil supply. Even brief disruptions could send shockwaves through global markets, affecting millions worldwide. The political backdrop adds to the tension. President Trump has threatened military action over Iran's crackdown on protests, while simultaneously pressuring Tehran to negotiate over its nuclear program. Just days ago, Trump said help is on its way, calling for Iranian protesters to continue their demonstrations and record the names of those abusing citizens. While Iranian leaders are signaling willingness to talk, their military posture remains aggressive, warning of heavy retaliation if provoked. Diplomacy and deterrence collide, making every move in the region fraught with risk. Experts warn that the Middle East is on the edge. Any miscalculation, whether a drone strike, naval confrontation, or missile attack, could escalate into a broader conflict. Both Israel and the United States are on high alert, while Iran signals its readiness to respond decisively. With military forces in position, tense negotiations on the horizon, and strategic waterways under close watch, analysts caution that a small spark could ignite a conflict with global implications. As the world watches, the message is clear. The Middle East stands at a crossroads. Israel warns its citizens. Iran signals retaliation. And the U.S. maintains a delicate balance between pressure and diplomacy. The coming days could determine the course of a conflict that the world cannot afford to ignore. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and the stakes could not be higher.